नमस्कार 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 जय भवानी जय शिवाजी जय हिंद जय महाराष्ट्र। मेरा नाम है आरकेबी। हम लोग हैं नेशन नाउ पर और नेशन नाउ है हमेशा आपके साथ। प्रदीप जी और मैं हमेशा आपके साथ हैं। हम लोग हैं नेशन नाउ पर and as usual we'll try and get you as much as we can with regard to social problems, but today we're going to be discussing not problems with regard to Mumbai and their solutions. We will be discussing some national subjects today because this is really and truly important. Pradeep ji,
बिल्कुल एग्जैक्टली सर।
प्रदीप जी पहले वंदे मातरम।
वंदे मातरम
जी, लेकिन प्रदीप जी ये चीज है, आज सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने एक वर्डिक्ट दिया साहब।
एग्जैक्टली
4-1
4-1 यस।
4 judges on one side, 1 judge on one side. The majority of the Supreme Court ruled that the demonetization was completely legal, that the government of India had every right to go in for demonetization on November the 8th, 2016. 8 नवंबर 2016 को जो नोटबंदी हुई वो बिल्कुल कानून के तहत थी। उसमें रिजर्व बैंक ऑफ इंडिया के साथ कंसल्टेशन भी हुई, बाकी सब हुआ। The Supreme Court has found no fault with any of the procedure. Pradeep ji.
Sir, even then when Narendra Modi के जब policy announced किए demonetization में 80% of the public was with him, and today also in the judgment 4:1 80% of the judicial majority is with Mr. Modi. It's absolutely clear. The voice of the people are now the judiciary also have put their stamp, and it's totally over where the demonetization exercise is over concerned. Now look at the kind of public outcry that was there. You talk that you destroyed the unorganized sector, you destroyed the real estate, you destroyed various sectors, infrastructure, and what you call the unorganized labor जहाँ भी था आपने उसको destroy किया था. Mr. Modi withstood all that. Mr. Modi withstood all that. He went on winning elections. So whatever this 20% of the people who are against this mandate, where the judiciary is concerned and where the political moves are concerned, they are still suffering. But Mr. Modi is galloping victories. Immediately after the demonetization exercise, there was elections in UP, which he won. Then you got the general elections in 1999. In spite of demonetization and everything that you call for, nothing happened. The people overwhelmingly voted Mr. Modi back to power. And
but the only thing, Pradeep ji, over here, this is something which I can't understand. I don't know why we are not being able to see the scrolls. I don't really know why. Anyway, we will come to know that very shortly. Now, the point is, what could we have possibly done? Let's be very clear. Suppose, मेरा ये कहना है, suppose, मान लीजिए, अगर सुप्रीम कोर्ट का निर्णय जो है सरकार के खिलाफ आता, what do you think would have happened? Could we have asked for that old currency back? जो पुरानी करेंसी जिसको पल्प कर दिया गया, जिसको डिस्ट्रॉय कर दिया गया, क्या उसको वापस सर्कुलेशन में डाल सकते थे? मतलब मेरी कुछ समझ के जरा बाहर है ये क्या, मतलब इसका मतलब क्या हुआ? What would have been the effect of an adverse judgment? Suppose the Supreme Court had ruled that the government of India did not have the right to do what it did, which by the way is absurd. If the government of India does not have the right to do demonetization, who else does? The government of Pakistan. आप क्या चाह रहे हैं? The government of the United States of America, the Federal Bank of the United States of America will decide कि हिंदुस्तान में करेंसी कौन सी होनी चाहिए. But what is your view on that? जरा बताएं.
Sir, even when this matter went to the Supreme Court, the normal person, even a layman, knew that this is a lost cause, the lost case, because the power, the Constitution is supreme as on today, and the Constitution has already, all the three powers, they have already executed, they drawn the lines where it can and what each person can do, what this lawmakers can do, what the judiciary can do, and what the executive can do. So everything is absolutely earmarked. So even a layman knew that the Supreme Court could never encroach upon the turf where the lawmaking was concerned, where the people's representatives were concerned, where the parliament was concerned. Every normal person with reasonable mind probably knew the outcome, what was going to happen.
No, but even suppose the Supreme Court had ruled against it, what could have happened? I still can't figure this out.
Nothing.
Because actually speaking, this is actually a waste of judicial time. Really, truly speaking, right?
Waste of judicial time and giving a stamp on the authority of Mr. Modi to do that particular thing and give him final stamp of approval that it can be challenged anywhere anymore.
It's so silly. It's like somebody coming back and saying that, hey, We should have continued with the pound sterling even after 1947. I mean, this is, I don't really understand what this kind of logic is, because आखिर में अब भाई 2016 में नवंबर 8 को आपकी करेंसी चेंज कर दी गई, यानी 500 और 1000 के नोट जो थे तब तक के उनको इलीगल, गैर कानूनी डिक्लेयर कर दिया गया, उनकी जगह पे 500 और 2000 के नोट आ गए। ठीक है साहब, जो आज की तारीख में सर्कुलेशन में है, आप कह रहे हैं भाई ब्लैक मनी जो था वो ये नहीं हुआ, वो नहीं हुआ, वगैरह वगैरह, दैट्स अ डिबेट ऑफ अ डिफरेंट ऑर्डर ऑल टुगेदर। बिकॉज हिंदुस्तान में सीधी साधी बात है, आप जो मर्जी कर लीजिए, हिंदुस्तान के लोगों में कैश इकोनॉमी विल नेवर गो अवे। देखिए साहब, हिंदुस्तानी मेंटालिटी ऐसी है कि जब तक उसके हाथ में नोट नहीं होते वो उसके बाद जब तब तक वो कुछ करता नहीं है, सीधी साधी बात है। नंबर 1। नंबर 2, जो बात हम यहां पे ना जाने कितनी मर्तबा बोल चुके हैं, प्रदीप जी तो बार बार बोलते हैं उस बात को, कि आज की तारीख में आप देखें, सीधी साधी बात है, देखिए जो छोटे से छोटा ठेले वाला है, जो छोटे से छोटा सब्जी वाला है, जो ढाबे वाला है, जो आपको डिलीवरी करता है, जो आपको आके चाय देता है आपके दफ्तर में आके, वो भी बोलता है जीपे कर दो, वो भी बोलता है रुपए का वो यूपीआई जो है वो इस्तेमाल कर लो। आज की तारीख में कोई ऐसा शख्स नहीं है who does not do electronic banking, and that I think is the greatest achievement of Mr. Narendra Modi. But in the meantime, let's take a look at what the BJP had to say in his press conference. Here is Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad, former law minister, now of course General Secretary of the Bharatiya Janata Party. Let's take a look at what Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad had to say with regard to the Supreme Court judgment. He is always a pleasure to listen to, by the way. Let's take a look.
Scrolls. Scrolls.
Audio soon. We've got Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad on silent mode, which I thought was impossible, because nobody can make Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad keep quiet. But our engineers have performed a miracle. They've actually got Ravi Shankar Prasad to keep quiet. How is that possible? Absolutely impossible. Well, what I was trying to say, Pradeep ji, is that this is the greatest achievement of Mr. Narendra Modi's government. He's got everybody onto UPI. सीधी साधी बात है, कोई भी ऐसा शख्स नहीं है आज की तारीख में जो छोटे से छोटा व्यापार भी कर रहा हो, वो मैसेंजर बॉय भी हो, वो भी आकर के आपको बोलता है कि सर आप जीपे कर दीजिए ना, जोमैटो हो, स्विगी हो, कोई भी हो, they don't want कैश मत दीजिए, हमें ये कर दीजिए। This is absolutely fantastic. Pradeep ji.
Sir, exactly, whatever points Mr. Chidambaram and the persons, the petitioners put up before the court, the government will destroy this particular argument. They said the economy is improved. Where you talk about the economy got? You got the GST collection up, you got the number of SSCs like never time before, all time before. They went ahead and said the entire black money, actually, the pura pursuit jo tha black money ke khilaf, that has been successful. जो जिस प्रकार से फेक करेंसी, काउंटरफिट नोट्स बना रहे थे, whatever the Chidambaram and the petitioners put forward before the court was nullified by the government's argument. They said the country has gained, the country has developed, the country has taken a mass jump where all these ties are concerned. And when you rightly pointed out that even today the most poorest of poor deals with digital currency, digital banking, they have the UPI code, चाहे वो जीपे हो या पेमी हो या पे फोन हो, any kind of digital form of transactions that is being followed for the poor. And in fact, they prefer that more to the cash currency. Yeah, that they prefer that better, more than the cash transaction.
Absolutely. Very shortly, very shortly, you know what? I will not be surprised at all that all the beggars standing at the traffic lights are likely to say, cash mat do, apne ko GPA kar do.
Yes,
you know, that's going to happen. You watch, it's going to happen. And for that, I think Mr. Modi needs to be given credit. I think we've got Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad back, and Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad is actually speaking right now. And I thought it was impossible to stop him from speaking, and I was right. So we can hear Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad with his voice. Let's hear it.
मित्रों नमस्ते। सबसे पहले आप सबों को नववर्ष की शुभकामनाएं, अभिनंदन। मित्रों, आज एक बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण मामले में प्रेस से बात करने हम यहाँ उपस्थित थे अपने दोनों मित्रों के साथ, आरपी सिंह और के शर्मा। आज सुप्रीम कोर्ट का एक बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण फैसला आया है, जिसमें उन्होंने 2016 के नरेंद्र मोदी सरकार के ऐतिहासिक फैसले, जिसमें 500 और 1000 के नोट को डिसर्कुलेट किया गया, डिमोनेटाइज किया गया था, उसकी वैधानिकता को चुनौती देने वाले सारे याचिकाओं को अस्वीकार कर दिया है। The Supreme Court today, by a majority judgment of 4-1, has dismissed all the 58 writ petitions challenging the constitutional validity of the historic demonetization scheme launched in 2016 by the Shri Narendra Modi government. बहुत उसमें लंबी बहस की गई। आज जजमेंट फाइनली तो अपलोड अभी होना बाकी है, लेकिन जो हम लोगों ने मालूम किया है उसके आधार पर 2-3 बातें बड़े विश्वास के साथ कही जा सकती हैं। पहला कि दिस होल एक्सरसाइज वाज डन फॉर a valid cause, namely removing fake currency, containing terror funding, black marketing, etc. ये पूरी नीति टेरर फंडिंग, फेक करेंसी को रोकने के लिए और आपके मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग एक्सेट्रा, ब्लैक मार्केटिंग को रोकने के लिए की गई थी। और ये उद्देश्य सही है और गवर्नमेंट ये पॉलिसी डिसीजन ले सकती है, उसको लेने का अधिकार है। दूसरी बात जो कही गई थी कि आरबीआई से कोई कंसल्टेशन नहीं हुआ, बाकी नहीं हुआ, कोर्ट ने उसको भी रिजेक्ट किया और कहा कि आरबीआई से कंसल्टेशन हुआ था। स्वयं आरबीआई ने कोर्ट के सामने अपने वकील के द्वारा हुआ कि एक कंसल्टेशन हुआ था और कोर्ट ने यह भी कहा कि रिजर्व बैंक ऑफ इंडिया एक्ट के सेक्शन 26(2) में का भी कोई वायलेशन नहीं है। ये इन सम एंड सब्सटेंस, और आपको मालूम है कि कोर्ट ने पूरे डिसीजन मेकिंग प्रोसेस को भी देखने की इच्छा जाहिर की थी, तो सील्ड कवर में वो भी दिया गया था। इसका मतलब यह हुआ कि कोर्ट ने पूरे डिसीजन मेकिंग प्रोसेस को सही पाया। The Honorable Supreme Court, by a majority judgment, found the entire decision-making process to be fair and reasonable.
Right, that's what Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad said, and he is absolutely right, and I agree with him. Well, what is there not to agree? The Supreme Court has said it. What can we do about it? सीधी सादी बात है। और जो उच्चतम न्यायालय ने कहा है कि भाई पूरा प्रोसीजर फॉलो किया गया, एक एक चीज हुई, यहाँ तक ये कहा गया कि 6 से 8 महीने पहले कंसल्टेशन शुरू हो गई थी रिजर्व बैंक ऑफ इंडिया से। तो ये बड़ी इन्फेक्चुअस सी आर्ग्यूमेंट थी प्रदीप जी। ये तो ऐसा था कि भाई चलो वील एम्बैरस द गवर्नमेंट, हो सकता है, इट्स अ लॉटरी, हो सकता है कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट जो है वो खिलाफ जजमेंट दे दे, which is impossible. As Pradeep ji very rightly pointed out, Advocate Pradeep Nambiar ji, as he very rightly pointed out, all the arguments that were placed against demonetization were absolutely infructuous and had no bearing in facts. And in any event, as I said, the adverse judgment could not have been implemented anyway. Let's be very clear, Pradeep ji.
Exactly, sir. If you see the entire exercise seems to be in such a way that it has come in favor of Mr. Modi, that this demonetization exercise has been stamped, approved, sealed, and absolutely
and delivered.
delivered. And there is no element of doubt. Nobody can raise questions. Not only the government has passed it, now the Supreme Court, the judiciary has also stamped its authority on that. So it's come clean. I don't know what's going on, but there is an element. So we were on the field, and wherever we found, we've talked to real estate collapse in Mumbai, especially because we were doing a lot of stories in Mumbai. जितने भी बिल्डर्स हमने बात की है, बिल्डर्स का यही कहना था कि 4 things has destroyed us: Whenever we talk about why you have not developed the flats, आपका promise क्यों नहीं किया? कभी-कभी 6 साल, 7 साल, 8 साल से आप प्रोजेक्ट को डिले कर रहे हो, 11 साल से डिले कर रहे हो, और लास्ट 2-3 साल 4 साल से आप पेमेंट भी करना बंद कर दिया, रेंट देना बंद कर दिया, बिल्डिंग रियल एस्टेट का काम करना बंद कर दिया। तो जितने बिल्डर्स है सबका एक ही रीडेवलपमेंट, जितने बिल्डर्स रीडेवलपमेंट और इवन अदर नॉर्मल प्रोसेसेस आल्सो वो स्टॉल्ड एक्चुअली। ओके ना, लोग भाई साहब कोविड आ गया, उससे पहले आपका डिमोनेटाइजेशन आ गया, उसके बाद आपका जीएसटी आ गया, उसके बाद आपका रेरा आ गया, इसमें हम बर्बाद हो गए। बट अल्टीमेट ये एक बोलना है कि दिस इज द एक्सक्यूज दैट दे गिव, बट इनसाइड विद इन दे से जो भी है ये एक्सरसाइज अच्छा है, इट इज द ग्रेटर गुड ऑफ द नेशन, इट इज ग्रेटर बेनिफिट ऑफ द नेशन। हम लोग जो एक्सेस ब्लैक मनी लेते थे, एक्सेस हर चीज लेते थे, उस चीज एक रोक आ गया, एक बंद हो गया। भले वी आर सफरिंग नाउ, बट दिस इज द ग्रेटर इंटरेस्ट ऑफ द कंट्री, इट इज द ग्रेटेस्ट इंटरेस्ट ऑफ द सोसाइटी, एंड इन द लॉन्ग टर्म the country and the society will gain।
प्रदीप जी यहाँ पर एक बात मैं कहना चाह रहा हूँ।
yes
आपको याद होगा,
बिल्कुल सर,
जिस दिन डिमोनेटाइजेशन हुई उसके 3 या 4 दिन बाद जब लंबी लाइंस थी
एग्जैक्टली
एटीएम्स के बाहर, हम लोगों ने जाके वहां पे लोगों से बात की। ठीक है, जैसा आप बोल रहे हैं 80%, 80% नहीं साहब, नो 90 to 95% लोग। मैं एक बार फिर बोल रहा हूँ, 90 से 95% लोगों ने कहा कि जो किया है मोदी जी ने बिल्कुल ठीक किया है। मैं मजाक नहीं कर रहा हूं, असल में लोगों ने कहा, एंड पीपल वर वेरी हैप्पी एट द फैक्ट कि बड़े से बड़ा इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट हो, इवन द रिचेस्ट मैन दे हैव टू स्टैंड इन अ क्यू, व्हिच बाय द वे वाज अ मिसनोमर, बिकॉज़
no rich man, no even average man, because nobody stood in the queue. Any reasonable person who could afford a little more money, he never stood in the queue.
They made a deal with the bank manager, they made a deal with the bankers, and they got it done. But what I'm trying to say is that everybody was very happy कि at least नंबर एक जो बड़ी बड़ी पार्टियां हैं उनके जो बोरियां भर के, गोनियां भर के जो नोट थे वो सारे के सारे खत्म हो गए, और जो बड़े बड़े इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट थे, बिल्डर थे, उनका जो कैश एलिमेंट था वो खत्म हो गया। उसको लेकर के लोग बड़े खुश थे, जिसकी वजह से आप देखिए 2019 में नरेंद्र मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में भारतीय जनता पार्टी 303 सीट लेकर के आई, 303, एंड वी वर द ओनली पीपल बाय द वे हु वर सेइंग ऑल अलोंग, जबकि उस वक्त एक बहुत ज्यादा डिस्कशन चल रहा था, वार्तालाप चल रहा था, लोगों में बातचीत चल रही थी कि इस बार मोदी जी नहीं आएंगे, ये नहीं होगा, वो नहीं होगा। वी वर द ओनली पीपल हु सेड 300 प्लस 300 प्लस, और उस वक्त लोग हम पर हंस रहे थे। इस बार भी ऐसा हुआ उत्तर प्रदेश में, ठीक है 180 नहीं आई, 200 नहीं आई, बट स्टिल द बीजेपी वन इन उत्तर प्रदेश। लेट्स बी वेरी क्लियर, जहां तक के भारतीय जनता, और गुजरात में प्रदीप जी,
एग्जैक्टली
गुजरात में हम वी वर द ओनली पीपल हु केप्ट सेइंग 135 प्लस माइनस 10, 145 की जगह पे नरेंद्र मोदी एज यूजुअल सरप्राइज्ड अस ऑल and got 156 seats instead of 145. That's what we had calculated. And as that gentleman, the food processing minister that we had interviewed just the other day,
Mr. Prahlad Patel
जी,
yes,
पटेल साहब ने क्या कहा, भाई हम लोगों को 350 का टारगेट दे दिया गया है। हमेशा जब भी भारतीय जनता पार्टी नेतृत्व ने जब भी टारगेट दिया है, उस टारगेट से ज्यादा ही हम लोगों ने अचीव किया है। पिछली बार 300 का था, हम लोग 303 पर आए, इस बार 350 का है तो उससे ज्यादा ही आएंगे, ऐसा लोगों ने कहा है। लेकिन फिलहाल सुप्रीम कोर्ट has put its stamp, as Pradeep ji said, on demonetization. अब demonetization पर कोई केस किसी भी कोर्ट में सुना नहीं जाएगा, and I think that's a good thing, very frankly speaking. Let's put this ghost to rest. अब जाकर के जहां तक के नोटबंदी का प्रश्न है, नोटबंदी के भूत का अब क्रियाक्रम हो चुका है, उसको या दफना दिया जाए या उसकी अंत्येष्टि कर दी जाए, सीधी सादी बात है। That's it. That's all as far as demonetization is concerned. So congratulations once again to Mr. Modi's government for winning one more case in the Supreme Court. Absolutely brilliant. Brilliant, bloody brilliant, as I keep saying all the time. Mr. Modi is here to win, and so far he hasn't lost. Of course, Aam Aadmi Party will disagree. They won in Punjab and they won in Delhi. लेकिन उसके बारे में हम लोग बाद में बात करेंगे. Now, Pradeep ji, one more thing.
Yes, sir.
Our भारत जोड़ो यात्री,
yes,
Mr. राहुल गांधी. अब राहुल गांधी साहब ने एक इंटरव्यू रिलीज किया है साहब, वार्तालाप, आमने सामने, साक्षात्कार। अब वो साक्षात्कार राहुल गांधी कमला हसन को इंटरव्यू कर रहे हैं या कमला हसन उनको कर रहे हैं, मुझे मालूम नहीं है, लेकिन दोनों के बीच में बातचीत है। एंड इट्स रियली वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग, इट इज रियली एंड ट्रूली वेरी वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग द वे दे टॉक टू ईच अदर। आई हैव never been really impressed with Mr. Kamla Hasan's political acumen, very frankly speaking, because he has a very childlike innocence about him when it comes to politics. But it was very interesting watching Mr. Rahul Gandhi and Mr. Kamla Hasan. Pradeep ji, aap bataye.
Sir, if you see, both talked, and in fact, it's good to see that Rahul Gandhi is engaging himself in talks about economics, about international relationship, about tensions within the India, economic policies within the country, and how India is doing economically. But it all seemed to be like, you know, we've been discussing demonetization earlier. Any of these exercises is only going and putting a stamp on what Mr. Modi is doing and saying that what Mr. Modi is doing right. Now, demonetization, the courts upheld, and the same thing we find the interview of Rahul Gandhi along with Kamala Hasan is stamping the same thing, that the policies of Mr. Modi are to the dot. It is right, it's right going, the economy is going forward, and it is the betterment and greater interest of the nation.
Now the funny part is over here, and you know what he says? He says that the government of India has undermined the Indian army, which is the funniest thing I've ever heard. I mean,
Sir, anytime the congressman makes this kind of statement, you know, it creates more problems for the Congress.
That's right.
Anytime, plus things that is incredible when you got with the Jodo Yatra, Bharat Jodo Yatra, you know, it diminishes by statements like this when you say
so that becomes a Congress Todo Yatra. Now,
yes.
Funny part is he actually
questions
says
the integrity of the army or the
no, he's not talking about integrity. He says that it's undermined the army's position.
Yes.
Because he says कि आपके नेता ने तो कहा है साहब कि 1 इंच भी नहीं गया टेरिटरी का, which is absolutely true by the way. जो थोड़ी encroachment हुई है Chinese army द्वारा वो no man's land पे हुई थी. Now they've all moved back. They have tried their level best. There are encroachments in certain other areas. Mr. Rahul Gandhi seems to have forgotten 1962. Most of the territories that were lost to China were in 1962 when Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru was the Prime Minister. Now, he seems to have forgotten that. उसके अलावा इन्होंने कहा कि अर्थव्यवस्था ठीक नहीं है. अरे भाई, आप आखिर के 4 साल देखें ना डॉक्टर मनमोहन सिंह के. The economy was growing at 4.3%. It had come down from the 9% of 2009 to just about 4.3% in 2014. मतलब आप जरा कुछ सोच समझ के तो बात करें. But anyway, let's take a look at this very interesting conversation between Mr. Rahul Gandhi and Mr. Kamla Hasan.
So what it is, right, is actually a disrespect of skills. You will not respect the person's skill and then say, okay, as the nation, how do we empower this person's skills? So I gave you the example of Bellary, right, which is the jeans capital of India. Now Bellary should be exporting jeans to the rest of the world, should be exporting different types of jeans, should be innovating on jeans. Right? Bellary has been shut down because of demonetization and wrongly applied GST. And you've literally taken a hub which could challenge the Chinese across the world in making jeans, and you've destroyed it. It used to have 4.5 lakh people working there, it now has 50,000. Like something like what you're doing with Khadi, right? I mean, who would know that that's a Khadi jacket?
Nobody.
Right?
More than the publicity of it, the reach of it.
Exactly.
Americans are loving it.
And then you got the history of Khadi, right? Because if you start to say, well, this is Khadi from the Indian freedom movement, this is made by Indian people by hand, this is what fought a superpower, you can make a beautiful story out of it.
Yes. Yeah. And it's not done in a modern factory.
Yeah.
It's done by people sitting in villages and handmade.
Exactly.
You know, I'm very happy and honored.
प्रदीप जी,
Very good. I mean,
Mr. Rahul Gandhi has forgotten
yes,
कि 2 साल तक कोविड था.
exactly.
4.5 लाख लोग जहां पर काम करते थे तथाकथित तौर पर, ऐसा राहुल गांधी का कहना है, बेलारी में वहां पर भी 50,000 लोग काम करते हैं उनकी जीन्स की फैक्ट्रीज में. अरे भाई 50,000 तो काम करते हैं. आई एम सरप्राइज्ड दैट इवन दोस 50,000 हैवंट लॉस्ट देयर जॉब्स. अरे भैया, कोविड 2 साल तक कोविड था, उसमें तकरीबन एक चीज बंद हो गई। मतलब आप कर क्या रहे हैं? कौन सी दुनिया में रह रहे हैं? मुझे ये समझ में नहीं आ रहा है। और बार बार आप डॉक्टर मनमोहन सिंह की बात कर रहे हैं। अब डॉक्टर मनमोहन सिंह की बात करते ही नहीं है। अभी बात करते हैं अर्थव्यवस्था खराब है। अच्छा जी, वेरी गुड, अर्थव्यवस्था खराब है। आप अपने टाइम की बात करिए ना। फ्रॉम 2004 to 2009 we grew at a highest rate of about 9.3%. 9.3% was the growth rate of the GDP, quarterly growth rate. उसके बाद 2014 तक, तब जब हम लोग आए हैं 2013-2014 तक, it had fallen down to 4.3%. Pradeep ji,
Exactly.
4.3%.
Yes.
Unemployment was at its highest.
Yes.
Prices of commodities were at their highest. आप किसकी बात कर रहे हैं? और अगर उस वक्त एक चीज बहुत अच्छी चल रही थी तो नरेंद्र मोदी जी को लोगों ने वोट क्यों दिया? सीधी सादी बात है, क्योंकि आप लोगों की हुकूमत से लोग तंग आ गए, इसलिए भारतीय जनता पार्टी को वोट दिया गया। प्रदीप जी।
Exactly, sir. What you're saying is right. 9.3 to 9.7% around 2009, and then you come to 4.3 to 4.5% in 2013, and that is when the people said, the entire electorate got together and said, "This is it. We don't want you because you have failed in national security, you have failed in nationalism, you have failed to revive the economy is going, people are losing jobs, there's a policy paralysis, and the enforcement agencies were picking up the corporate directors, random, left, right and center, people who, as we were discussing, every weekday was shared between the income tax, the CID, the CBI, the enforcement directorate, you name the central agencies, you had the directors hopping from one offices to the other. So,
and preparing for the next week on Sunday.
And nothing was going right where the economy is concerned.
That's
you
right.
talk to any corporate person that particular time, around 2013, before Mr. Modi came on, he said, nothing is working, please don't talk to our business. We all worried, we don't know where we are going. Nothing seems to be going right for the business and economy. The government is looking at businessmen as though they are thieves and they are, robbers and dacoits. That's not what we are. We need to be treated with respect.
और प्रदीप जी एक मिनट
Yes.
ये बात बतानी बहुत जरूरी है।
Yes.
आज की तारीख में what does the World Bank and what does the IMF say, यानी International Monetary Fund, ये दोनों international agencies, organizations which effectively control most of the economy of the world, what do they say? The only bright spot in the world's economy today is India. वो कहते हैं कि भारतीय अर्थव्यवस्था ही है जो आज की तारीख में दुनिया की अर्थव्यवस्था को बचा सकती है, और आप यहां कह रहे हैं कि हमारी अर्थव्यवस्था चरमरा गई है। अरे भाई, मैं ये कह रहा हूं कि whom is he trying to convince? I still can't figure this out. आप अगर सुरक्षा के ऊपर नरेंद्र मोदी की अवहेलना करेंगे तो याद रख लीजिए कोई आपके साथ नहीं होगा। You have to present an alternative. राहुल गांधी जी के पास कोई विकल्प नहीं है, सिर्फ एक ही चीज है, हाउ टू क्रिटिसाइज मोदी। बस मोदी को क्रिटिसाइज कीजिए और आपको लगता है कि लोग आपके साथ जुड़ जाएंगे। ऐसा नहीं होने वाला भैया। लेट्स टेक अ लुक अगेन एट व्हाट मिस्टर कमला हसन एंड मिस्टर राहुल गांधी हैड टू टॉक अबाउट। टू जेंटलमैन विद अ वेरी हाउ शैल आई पुट इट,
limited knowledge of the entire economic and
different view of life,
policies of the country.
Different view of life. With an alternative view of life. Let's take a look at Mr. Kamlahasan, the film star, and Mr. Rahul Gandhi, the political star. Let's take a look.
What we have done through our party is that simply sort of wipe the dust away from the Gram Sabhas and brought it back into, now it's happening because we are attending and now we want to take it into the towns. I think people should participate in politics, not necessarily electoral politics only.
Exactly.
But they must have a firm say that politicians will have to understand it's not all about number crunching, that they'll have to answer certain things, and people should also feel that I can vent or complain.
I can say something, and politicians should also feel that I can take some punishment. He's shouting at me, okay, no problem. I did something wrong. I go and listen to what he's doing, what he's saying. I think that's, people don't like criticism. I think criticism is a good thing.
I think we are a very young democracy still, in spite of 75 years. The reminiscence of the monarchy is still in our mind.
No, that's a profound thing you've said. It's true.
it's still they want loyalty. And politicians who are in power want to somewhere behave like a king. Because we are not, it's not too far behind in history that we had princely states.
70 years, yeah.
Mr. Kamlahasan says the remnants of the monarchy are still there. And Rahul Gandhi says it's a very profound thing you've said. Remember Hemanta Biswa Sarma? Hemanta Biswa Sarma, the present chief minister of Assam? कांग्रेस में थे 4 घंटे इंतजार करते रहे नंबर 10 जनपद पे 4 घंटे इंतजार करते रहे कि राहुल गांधी उन्हें वक्त देंगे उनको मालूम पड़ा कि राहुल गांधी साहब अपने कुत्तों के साथ खेल रहे हैं remnants of royalty, that's what he said. And Mr. Rahul Gandhi agrees with him. It's a profound thing you've said. Now who has behaved like royalty? Wonderful. Isn't that wonderful, Pradeep ji?
Sir, if you look at this, everything that Rahul Gandhi and KAMLAHASAN talk today is only stamping the policies of Narendra Modi.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And if you talk about, now KAMLAHASAN talks about how skilled labor is absolutely essential. Rahul Gandhi says how skilled labor is absolutely essential. Mr. Modi, after becoming the Prime Minister, the first thing he said, I want my youth to have engage themselves in skilled labor.
Skill India.
Yes, Skill
He
India.
started Skill India.
Skill India. आप छोटे से छोटा काम करो, but make it skill that you can earn your livelihood. It earns you.
So you don't have to depend on government
jobs. You don't
jobs.
have to depend on anybody. So much more Rahul Gandhi and KAMLAHASAN talked about it. Modi, as he came in 2014, tried and implemented and it put right into the head of people that after SSC, the basic qualification, please go for your skills. Please develop your skills. I want you guys to be skilled. I want India to be a skilled India. I want India to be manufacturing hub. I want India to be a technical hub. I want to be manufacturing hub of the world. That's what you want India, and that will happen. Only.
And that's already happened.
And
We are already the pharmacy of the
that's
world.
what he said in 2014, that
right.
will only happen if you, the youth of this country, go towards engaging yourself in skills to develop yourself, inherit all these kind of things that will make you great, that will earn you bread on your own. And when he said, आप वड़ा पाव के स्टॉल बनाओ, पकोड़े के स्टॉल बनाओ,
समोसा बेचिए, पकोड़े बेचिए,
ये आपका टैलेंट है, स्किल्स है, उस चीज को छोटे चीज से आप डेवलप कीजिए, अपना स्किल्स को डेवलप कीजिए. आज 2014 में मोदी जी बोले थे, आज 2022-2023 में KAMLAHASAN and
Rahul Gandhi have woken up.
And saying
to skill India.
Skill India. बोले आपको
अब यहाँ पर प्रदीप जी मुझे मैं रोकना चाहूंगा.
करना चाहिए.
एक मिनट मैं आपको रोकना चाहूंगा.
बिल्कुल.
ये मुझे कहना पड़ेगा साहब. सुप्रीम कोर्ट में आप गए, चिदम्बरम साहब गए, बाकी सब लोग गए अगेंस्ट डिमोनेटाइजेशन. ठीक है साहब. मुझे तो ऐसा लगता है कि वो इसलिए गए ताकि नरेंद्र मोदी जी की जो स्थिति है और भी ज्यादा ताकतवर हो जाए. मुझे तो ऐसा लग रहा है. और अभी ये राहुल गांधी और कमलाहासन जी जो बात कर रहे हैं आपस में, मुझे तो ऐसा लग रहा है जैसा अभी एडवोकेट प्रदीप नाम्बियार साहब ने कहा, मुझे तो ऐसा लग रहा है कि दिस इज द पीआर एक्सरसाइज फॉर प्राइम मिनिस्टर नरेंद्र मोदी. मतलब आप वही चाह रहे हैं कि हो जो अभी नरेंद्र मोदी कर रहे हैं. मतलब सीधी सादी बात है. 2014 से लेकर के 2023 तक भाई सो रहे थे क्या? कुंभकर्ण की नींद सोए हुए थे क्या? स्किल इंडिया, मैन्युफैक्चर इंडिया, ये बाकी सब चीजें नरेंद्र मोदी साहब ने, मेक इन इंडिया, जो नरेंद्र मोदी साहब ने लॉन्च करी, उसी के बारे में आप बात कर रहे हैं. I find it very strange. I mean, I think Mr. Rahul Gandhi's advisors should take a long, hard look at what their leader is doing. Bharat Jodo Yatra was going so well. He was doing so well. And then along came Polly. That is, along came KAMLAHASAN, and this is what happened. Pradeep ji, one final word from you.
Yes, sir. Today, India, I mean, every state, like in Maharashtra, the Modi government has bought its own Shinde Fadnavis government. You have a Skill India minister, skill development minister. In the center, you have a particular ministry totally devoted to the cause of skill development.
Yes.
So, what are we talking about? We are talking about a prime minister who has a vision for the country. A prime minister who says that infrastructure has to be in place, roadways has to be in place, the roads have to be, the highways, everything has to be in place. He says we are going to be the global hub for manufacturing. We are going to get the China. They will look at the way how he's trying to develop UP. The entire, every district collector office is connected to each other by a 6-lane or 8-lane highways. This is what we're talking about, development. छोटे छोटे चीज को उन्होंने कहा, जो नए चीज स्टार्टअप्स को उन्होंने प्रोमोट कर दिया, like you come up, we are going to finance you. Now today how proudly Mr. Gadkari says that if I want the project finance, I've got ample finances.
I've got ample finance. मुझे किसी के पास जाने की जरूरत नहीं है.
मुझे देश के बाहर जाने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ रहा है. देश के अंदर ही इतना पैसा है, इतने लोग इस चीज को. So if you're giving a quality product, if you're giving it in time, if you're delivering it, as he says, all the agencies together, all the departments, all the अलग-अलग department portfolios जो है सरकार के, they work towards a common cause. As Gadkari was telling us most of the time कि मैं चाहता हूँ कि रेलवेज भी हमारे साथ आए, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर में हम रोड बनाएंगे, उसके नीचे उसके ऊपर मेट्रो स्टेशन चलेगा और उसके ऊपर रेलवे
and river water and waterways and river waterways.
You're saving money, and look at the word.
Right.
He says, I got the Prime Minister's total backing and total enthusiastic support in doing all these things. And the first
Absolutely.
time, all these various departments, ने तो हर department के अलग-अलग खर्चे and things that would happen for 300 crores, I am doing it at the cost of 100 crores. That is because cooperation and connection between various departments of Mr. Narendra Modi's government and his leadership qualities that inspire people to do. And look at the way you're talking about nearly 40 kilometers per day of road development, road building.
And for the first time,
yes.
Pradeep ji,
Bilkul sir.
there is a road infrastructure being
Yes.
developed exactly for defense purposes all along the line of actual control on
Yes.
the Chinese border.
On the Chinese
पहली
border.
बार ऐसा हुआ है, instead of using a mule train,
बिल्कुल.
our troops will be able to go by road to face the Chinese.
14 से 15 कभी-कभी एक महीना लग जाते थे हमारे फौज और हमारे सिपाहियों को चाइनीज बॉर्डर तक, इंडो चाइनीज बॉर्डर
That's right.
पहुंचने के लिए.
That time has been cut down to 2 days.
For 2 days, you're reaching, you've got roads right to the border, and that is what is affecting the
And
Chinese.
that is what is driving the Chinese up the
crazy.
wall.
Now you talk about business, look at GST, ऐसा UPI बोल रहे, छोटे से अभी जो डिलीवरी आते हैं, Amazon के डिलीवरी, वो तो ठीक है, they don't ask for tips, but food के जो है, Zomato है, they take, even if you want to tip them, you say you tip through the UPI, GPay,
Right.
आप GPay, फोन पे, बोले हमारे पास छुट्टा नहीं, हमको छुट्टा भी नहीं चाहिए, आप GPay में, तो GPay, फोन पे, people are questioning the integrity of incorporating this, that these businesses have come after the demonetization exercise. So what? The country has gained out
You
of
bet
this.
they have.
The gay have.
Thank God.
Our most vocal critics where Pakistan is concerned, वहाँ के लोग, they're saying, please give an example of Mr. Modi, the way he is developing.
That's right.
आज एक सब्जी वाला से लेके टमाटर बेचने वाला,
He's
वड़ा
got-
पाव बेचने वाला,
he's got-
छोटे-छोटे.
he's got everything
Well,
on
he's
his phone.
operating on a digital mode. He's operating through the banking transaction.
On his
छोटे-छोटे फोन पर वो ऑपरेट कर रहे हैं. हमारे पास क्या है? हमारे पास अभी वही नोट नकली नोट छप रहा है, असली
तो
नोट
प्रदीप
छप रहा
जी
है.
कहने का मतलब ये
बिल्कुल.
हुआ
और
तो कहने का मतलब ये हुआ कि राहुल गांधी और कमला हासन नरेंद्र मोदी जी का पीआर कर रहे हैं, मतलब
exactly, they are stamping
PR
his policies. Very well, they don't know that he's already incorporated those things. Skilled labor incorporated.
right. I think that's just about it. I don't think I want to pull Rahul Gandhi's leg anymore. Let's be very clear. Poor chap. But all the best to him. He's done a very good job so far. He's been working very, very hard. I wish all the best to him. But this interview with Kamlahasan, or Kamlahasan's interview with him, or his interview with Kamlahasan, I think has worked more to buttress and strengthen Mr. Narendra Modi's image than anything else that even the BJP could have dreamt up, very frankly speaking. So the BJP, rightfully speaking, should send a thank you note to both Mr. Kamlahasan and to Mr. Rahul Gandhi कि भाई ऐसे काम आप बार-बार करते रहें. That's it. That's all we've got for you in tonight's show. आज के शो में सिर्फ इतना ही. From both Advocate Pradeep Nambiar ji and myself, आप सबको नमस्कार. जय हिंद, जय महाराष्ट्र, जय भवानी, जय शिवाजी. वंदे मातरम.
Vande Mataram.